Good day, friends. We're here on location from the Executive Director's Desk at Back Bay Mission. We're really happy to have you here. And I'm very excited today because we have some long-term volunteers that are here during this season of, pandemic 2, COVID, whatever we're calling it, right? And so they're here sharing their gifts and their talents and their love with our new builds here, kind of in North Gulfport. I call these the Duckworth houses. So it's been a long process to get these done, and they were kind of here to actually paint our long-term volunteer house, but now they ended up doing a lot of kind of nip and tuck work here, right, at our two homes on Duckworth. So I want them to introduce themselves. They are fantastic long-term volunteers. So kind of first name, last name if you want, and then I guess maybe how long you've been doing long-term volunteer work here at Back Bay.
Well, I'm John Small, and Pam and I have been doing volunteer work since 2005. Started with Katrina.
And I'm Pam, John's wife, and
Better half.
his better half. We go to Bethlehem UCC in Evansville, Indiana, and I've been down here as long as John has.
I'm Bob Bock from Evansville, Indiana, Christ Church UCC, and we've been long-term volunteers. I think we started in 2018. Maybe.
So we just do these. I'm Nancy Bock, and I'm with him.
Yeah, and is it true? And you're kind of lovingly called Mom and Dad because you've been working so long here, right?
Yeah.
Did you introduce Bob and Nancy to long-term volunteerism?
Yes, we spoke at our church one time, and Nancy said, "That's what I want to do." So we're happy to have Nancy and Bob on board.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it worked out well.
And long-term volunteers come down for at least a month at a time, right? And we have a beautiful house across the street that was actually built by volunteers, right? And brought in by a group from Wisconsin, I understand, where they live. And actually these two couples are cohabitating in that house right now. In that house right now, which I believe is 3-4 bedroom?
3-bedroom.
3-bedroom home across from the Back Bay Mission. So we're just really happy to have them doing this work. And maybe they want to explain a little bit about why this work is really important to them.
Well, we had a new floor put in the house after 15 years, and Pam and I wanted a break from Indiana and the boredom of COVID. So we said, hey, we'll come down and paint. So Pam's a pretty good painter. And
Excellent painter.
so between the two of us, we knocked it out. When Bob and Nancy came down the last couple of days, we were working in it. And so everything is painted, and it's real pretty. We redecorated the interior. It looks much better than it did.
So if you come down as a long-term volunteer, you get to stay in that beautiful, newly
That's right.
painted,
It's our
newly
home away
floored
from
house,
home.
right? You're going away from home,
That's
yeah.
right.
Yeah.
That's right.
And so they convinced you, right, to come down and do this yourself. Nancy, you want to share a little bit, and Bob, about why this has been important to you? And I have to say, Nancy, when Bob and Nancy come down, and I'm not sure, I don't think you do this quite as much, Pam, but they tend to work more at the Micah Day Center, right? Nancy does?
Yes, Nancy's good at that.
Yeah.
I usually am at the desk, and sometimes I'm over at the admin office, but a lot of times Craig will pull me off a job.
Yeah.
Or on a job, take me out here, out.
Because she can paint. She has the
Oh,
detail,
yeah.
right?
Right.
So that's the thing, when long-term volunteers come, they kind of do a whole hodgepodge of things, right? Sometimes it's helping out the Micah Day Center, sometimes the front desk in the administration office, sometimes it's painting or what have you, right? Throwing a few nails. So Nancy and Bob, do you want to talk a little bit about why this has been important to you? And why when you first heard them talk about it, you said, that's what I want to do?
Yeah, I in my home growing up, I grew up in a very poverty-stricken home, and I had a lot of people. Well, two of my relatives were homeless for a bit, so it means a lot to me to go in the Micah Center and treat everyone just like they were my brothers. Hopefully, they got the same experience wherever they are. I really love the seeing new people every week, you know. The volunteers from all over the country, they come in and they just add a whole life to the community. And I really like that. I hate to talk completely, Bob, because,
Fine
but
with me.
I think my talents are being around people and talking trash. So not really as good on the construction side, and it doesn't make me as happy as being in the Micah Center. So it works out well. We all have our talents, and when a group comes down here, there's so many different talents, and it's really exciting to see them all. So.
Actually, John and Pam are such good speakers. When they came to our church, we weren't there, but we heard about it, so we came down.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, and I think, part of what Nancy said is everything we do here at Back Bay Mission is really seeking to eradicate poverty and homelessness, right?
Yes.
And so part of the impetus for them being here is really also to work with volunteers. So the long-term volunteers work with our shorter-term volunteers that come in for a week from United Churches of Christ or Presbyterian churches or Lutheran churches or high schools or wherever they're coming from, to kind of show them the ropes, right? To kind of walk with them on their mission experience and make sure they're kind of understanding the breadth and the depth of what we do at Back Bay Mission. So yeah, it's really powerful. It's really, and it's been really powerful for me as kind of the new executive director to get to know these two couples and how amazingly committed they are to the work that we do. And today I think too, I want to honor Dad here, right? Because you were in the military, and right now we know what's happening in Afghanistan and Kabul, and I think we all have. Were you in the military, Bob?
No.
I didn't think so. We talked about that, didn't we? But Nancy was.
She was.
Yeah,
She
Nancy was.
Yes.
And so we want to honor people like Bob and Nancy, or not Bob and Nancy, sorry, Dad and Nancy, who were in the military, because it's a really difficult time right now. And everybody kind of has their separate narrative around what's happening there, whether we should have left or not left, or what we should have done. But we send energy and prayers to all those that have been in the military, because I think these are the kind of moments in history that can also trigger individuals and be difficult and challenging, reminding people of their own military experiences. So I want to thank both of you, all of you, all four of you, both of you couples, for all the work that you do here. And this house obviously will be sold hopefully soon, right? Because of your work here.
Yes.
Because of what you've done. The intention was that this would be sold to a family that was in a lower income bracket, right? But because of COVID and because we've had few volunteers over the last year, it's probably going to be sold at market value. But then a little bit of what we make off of that, which probably won't be much, will go back into providing housing for low-income poverty folks.
What is
and homeless
exciting,
folks.
what is also exciting is that we've had people here, volunteers who've been working at this house, and it's really, without them, we'd be way farther back than what we would. We would have had to spend more on contracting and more on people coming in. So the difference when people come in, to me, is it just makes all the difference in the world. So I want to thank those short-term volunteers that come in for that week, because
You betcha. And I think we also need to pray for the COVID people, for all people, that we just take care of each other and stay safe during this pandemic. That's very important.
Yeah, we know this side of the pandemic has been really tough, especially here in Mississippi, and on children in school, and again, that whole divisive discussion around masking, unmasking,
Exactly.
The realities of COVID or not, we just need to keep each other safe. That's the bottom
That's
line.
right.
And do what's best for each other.
That's right.
So I think that's really critical, yeah. So we offer prayers for Afghanistan, we offer prayers for COVID, and really offer prayers for our volunteers, like these four amazing folks, and our other volunteers that come to do work, because it really changes lives, it transforms people. And that's kind of what we're about, right? It's transformed you all. I know I'm being transformed as I'm here as staff, and I know Kevin behind the camera is being transformed. So thank you again.
You're welcome. Thank you. Nice to be here.
Yeah.